start.
Welcome, everybody, to another episode of the Tangent Podcast, episode 131 for the week of September 11, 2017. I am your host, Brian Thomas, alongside my lovable co-host over here, Justin Kane.
Oh, shit. It's counterclockwise.
It's counterclockwise this week. The Beacon of Light, Anthony Salvatore.
Hello.
And we are the podcast for the site pixelatedpoints.com, where we talk about the games that we've been playing during the week in a little segment we like to call Under Your Thumb. We take a quick break and come right back with the Drunken news. But first, some housekeeping items, I would say. For those of you that don't stay tuned to the very end of the podcast, we would actually like to say this now. If you guys could go ahead and give us a review on any sort of podcast catcher that you're listening to this on, that would be tremendous. Go over
Would help a lot.
Yep. Go over to
Open with this, I
youtube.com,
like it.
find Pixelated Points, subscribe to us there, share it with your friends. It helps us get brought to the forefront and for more people to find us.
And to get feedback.
Exactly. We would appreciate it. So
There it is.
there it is. I just wanted to throw that out there for you guys.
Boom.
Show us some love. We
Make it
know
happen.
we'd appreciate it.
Love you.
But we talk about games on this podcast, and I believe, Anthony, you went last week on Under Your Thumb. So you get to go first. Who's going first?
ASG over there.
Me?
Go on.
All right. I'm up.
Lead us off.
All right, let's go. So this week was taken up from, I got with the PlayStation Plus games, whatever the hell they call it.
Yep, just
the
PlayStation
PS
Plus. Yep,
PS Plus.
PS Plus games. Yep.
I got Infamous Second Son, which I've been playing, and for free. I mean, this game is awesome.
Yeah, it's
And
a
this
great game.
So, Brian, you've played the series.
Yes.
Anthony, have you ever played?
No, but I
Steve?
will probably download.
Nope.
No. Well, so it's third person action adventure, basically a superhero.
Yep.
Lightning.
Yep.
Well,
Well,
not
the
in this one.
characters.
Not in
So
this
I don't
one.
remember.
Oh.
So Brian, refresh me. The first game you were Lightning.
So in the
Shit.
first and second game, you play as Cole, who is his special ability is lightning, and then there's this morality system to the game where if you're good, you get blue lightning. If you're red or bad, you get red.
Star Wars.
Yeah,
And different powers.
different powers and power ups and things like that. Lots of little collectibles to find in the world, like blast shards to upgrade your character. But in this game, Infamous Second Son is it's just in a different part of the United States. So you're in Seattle
at the time of incident.
At the time of the incident. So your character, I would imagine that I think this is actually a sequel to 2.
Yeah, like it seems like it's
further along in
Yeah.
the timeline than the end of 2 is.
but it's in the same universe.
Same universe. And in this game, you play as Delson Rowe, I think his last
Yeah.
name is. And his power,
You use a lot of powers.
yeah. So that's the thing about Delson is that
So
he can
they're
actually
called conduits, I guess.
take people's conduits' powers.
And
yeah.
he, in particular, it seems not all the other people are having this ability where he's kind of like Rogue from X-Men. And
Who
he
steals
seems
other
to be
people's-
stealing. Like
Yeah,
if he comes in contact with a person who has a new type of power, he gets it. But not all the enemies. They don't have multiple powers. It seems like they all just are set with their one power, like either rock
same.
or smoke or this or that. So I guess I start off by saying the main character, it's like super quirky. The main character to
Quirky?
me, like he's
a
like just a
hipster.
goofball. It reminds me a lot of like Sunset Overdrive.
Okay.
Not as
Over the
extreme.
top kinda.
No, it's
Not
not
that.
that extreme, but I'm getting that vibe from it a lot. And then his older brother is like the more serious. He's like a police officer, and he's the more serious about it. He's like, "You got to get these powers and fix you." And you're like, "There's nothing wrong with me." And it's like this angsty teen.
Yeah.
Like
I feel like they were going a different direction with the
Don't
main
like it.
character, and I feel like they kind of missed the mark on it. I like the relationship that Delson and his older brother have, and I think that the acting and the voiceovers are great. But I feel like the writing for this character was a little. He's
just a little
like
cheesy.
He's your quintessential like hipster. You know, like he's wearing the beanie. He's got like the pins on the vest.
jacket.
And
Nice.
and then he spray paints, which is actually really cool. Have you
Yeah, it's cool. You turn the
the dual
remote
shock?
sideways and you shake it and you just kind of trace out outline.
So it is pretty unique where they like you literally grab the controller this way, so the analog sticks are vertical
down.
rather than horizontal, and then you're just
I think that's
spraying.
implied when you say they're vertical. rather than
Then
horizontal.
actually
Sorry.
Sean.
No, it's
I don't know why I pointed that out.
Yeah.
That's a dick move. My bad.
It's all right.
Dick
It's all
move.
right. But then you just spray
Trying to
with
get better.
the right trigger, and then I thought that it was actually a really cool like little thing, especially when the dual shock.
Yeah, it's
4
like
was
much
first
better than
announced.
just like walk up to the wall, hit X.
Yeah.
Like a lot of games are, it's just go up to something, collect it.
Yeah,
This
and
is
then-
like you actually got to interact with it.
And depending on your morality, so like if you're playing as a dickhead, which I'm imagining you are,
Yeah.
No, this time, I mean, the story is so scripted in the cutscenes, and you can't skip them. That's one thing I haven't mentioned until right now. I was going to get into it. Can't skip the cutscenes. So, I mean, they're getting me to watch their game. I guess it's smart because I probably would have skipped it, to be honest. So, it seems to be a dick. It seems not like the character because I'm not really. It doesn't seem like I'm really in control of the character's fate. So I just
Okay.
been letting it ride, being the
Like
the
Fable,
good
you
guy.
let
You're
the
just-
sister,
yeah,
you
like-
let the sister go and die at the end.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely if you watch the cutscenes, he's not a bad person. And I don't know if the cutscenes change depending on if you're a dick. I haven't thought about that scenario.
There are, from what I can remember, you can choose what to do.
Yeah,
during
there's some
cutscenes.
parts. Yeah, there's some parts where you can choose a morality scenario, but that's just gonna boost up or down your morality. And
It
then, like when
also
you're talking to them.
changes the cutscene though, just so
Yeah.
you know.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, I figured to see what the conversation happens, you might yell, scream, or smash something. But
Yep.
when they're like talking on the phone or you're going in between objectives and he's like,
Yeah.
hey, man, what's up? Like, oh, blah, blah, blah. And they're shooting the shit. Like,
Yeah, he doesn't seem
it's
like
not
an,
him.
yeah.
You know, and I don't know if that'll change or not, but that's.
You're
so
just
I just
kind of
kept it the
you're
way it
playing
seems.
the
it's
character. You're
script,
playing
yeah.
a role of this
Yeah,
character
playing
rather
the-
than how you want to.
Exactly.
Okay.
And it seems like if I want to play it again, then, you know, I can just be a dick about it. So the
Right
game.
up your alley.
Yeah, right up my alley. I like those. But anyways,
It's an A alley.
I would say the game looks very good. Obviously, most PlayStation games look amazing. This was published by PlayStation or
Yep.
Sony, I'm pretty sure, so they
Sucker
never
Punch,
spare
yep.
any expense. But it has like a texture to it almost. Like it's realistic graphics, but I feel like it has bright
What era,
tones.
what
and-
era was this game again?
Error?
PS.
It's PS4. It's
PS4,
like
yeah.
2014. It was like 2014.
Yeah, this is their newest one.
Oh, okay.
So I think it's really cool. I think it looks nice. It reminds
does.
me of Sunset Overdrive. Not like I said, not as colorful,
Over-
not
yeah.
as
Not
as-
extreme.
yeah.
But it feels in
Cartoonish.
that like Vania. The texture of it almost seems weird.
Also, the movement of the character, you could also say that are very similar to Sunset Overdrive. So
Yeah.
I don't know what powers you have. Like what
I got so I guess we'll get into the gameplay. I always saw you play the first. I mean, all of them. I think I saw you play a lot of them, and I never made the purchase. Like PlayStation was always kind of my secondary console.
Yeah.
And I never made the purchase of getting them, and so I knew I would genuinely like it. So I played this one, and it plays very, very well. I know this is their newest one, so it probably worked out all the mechanics
All the kinks
and the kinks and
yeah.
everything. It plays very well. I feel like I'm control over my character when I'm aiming, when I'm shooting. I know that in Infamous and the other ones, when I would pick it up and play it, when you were playing, it felt
A
a
little.
little tough. You had to move your character's body left and right a lot to hit the shots, and it puts you in harm's way. This game, I feel like it's nice and clean.
Okay.
Fix that.
And I've been enjoying the powers. The first one they give you is smoke and the skill tree. You can collect shards. They're all over. They're fucking everywhere.
Yeah,
Like,
there's like
everywhere.
500 within the world, so it's
So
like,
those are your skill points, and then your ability tree costs like 7 to unlock this, 9 to unlock this, depending on what it is, and then some of them can be upgraded even further. So that's cool. There's an abundance of the skill points around if you want to. It seems like you could
you
do
don't
it
have to-
bare bones too. Like you could
Find all the skill points to begin with, and then kind of.
Yeah, so I've been breaking it down district by district for a while. Like the map kind of breaks down
it's
as
kind of what you do in like
any
Assassin's
games.
Creed or
yeah.
anything like that.
So I've been doing it, messing around with the powers. So I've gotten smoke. I have neon, and I have this weird like television video one.
Okay, so you're pretty
All
far
right.
into the game already.
I crushed out.
You're
a bunch
pretty
of it.
far.
Yeah.
So I wanna talk about the movement of the character. So when you're playing, when you have the smoke ability or the smoke
your
power,
loadout changes depending on some of your abilities, what you can upgrade. So
and yeah, exactly. So like if you're playing with the smoke character or the smoke ability, you can go through vents and like shoot up to the top of the
and
building.
they have the vents
So
are
sneak
placed.
kinda.
yeah. So they're placed very very.
So, but that's how
intelligently.
you get to the top of the building. So you're not very vertical as smoke, and your shots, each one has its own like speed of bullet. You have a smoke grenade.
Yep. I think a blast.
And you can dash while you're every single one.
smoke,
If you
I
hold
guess.
X, you can glide. So he puts his hands down, he shoots his power, and he glides. But each one circle is dash, and so the smoke has a nice. Just you puff and you can do upgrade it twice.
Think of like
Just
Yeah.
you just disappear. Yeah, you huff, you puff, you blow a house
think of
down.
Nightcrawler from X-Men.
Yeah. So it's really nice.
Kind of.
And I was getting used to it. I was getting used to playing that, and then you pick up the next power.
Neon, which is my favorite.
Which
I
does
think
what?
Neon
And
is awesome.
so when I want to dash across buildings, it's a running speed, almost like Flash.
Yep.
So you dart straight down, and then you run across, and you go up a building, as
Yep.
opposed to straight across.
So
it was like
you're going very quickly. So Neon makes you run extremely
super
fast.
fast.
So if you're on top of buildings, you can run and jump and make across a gap. But if it's too long, you can jump, hit the ground,
And
keep
hit
running,
dash.
and then
So
and it's a
parkour.
sprint.
It's parkour.
Yeah.
there's a lot. You're getting a lot of parkour.
Imagine
in this
if the
game
Flash ran
anyways.
straight at a
That's-
building and just kept running straight up it and then over the top of it.
Yeah.
It's very similar to that.
So-
And as
This is more of like a sniper class too.
Well, in this one, your R1 is your rockets or your heavy attack, and you stack them. So the smoke is you just shoot it off, and it shoots right away. This one is a charge and shoot, the neon. So that fucked me up right away. As I'm like, some of the tank characters
Yeah,
are coming at you,
holding
and
it.
you're expecting to just shoot your rocket, and this one's a charge.
Yeah,
So that one kind of.
threw you for a loop a little bit.
And the thing that's amazing about this ability, that is like crazy, is. So you can get it so when you're aiming with R2, you can see a weak spot, and if you're a good guy, you can shoot their legs, and it'll automatically like
To-
subdue them or like put
Without
them
killing
down.
them, yeah.
Yeah. Or if you're evil, you can aim for the head.
And it kills
And this
them.
is just like you can slow down time with this in this class. So you almost wish that you could mix and match them.
Oh,
Like I wish
big
Neon and
like
smoke
you want
and
it
then,
so
like-
bad. You want to be like, I want this shooting mechanic with this
maneuverability.
yeah, and I want the smoke dash. I don't want the run. But
Like a
it
moveset
seems the
from
neon
each.
is the most efficient one. You can eventually unlock a never end run.
Yeah, that's
endless.
That's
I
I mean,
It's
once
untouchable.
once you get that,
It's
it's so much
untouchable.
fun to just like run around the city.
And then the television one I thought was interesting. It's similar to neon, but you
more
can
of-
go invisible, so you can kind of disappear, which is interesting. I forget what the dash is.
You
the
can
dash
fly.
Was, oh
in
yeah,
this
you
one.
get wings.
You get
and it's
wings
a
and
glide.
it like
They call this television.
it's called like TV or
Well, it's
video.
like a nerd,
It's called
like one of
video.
one of the conduits. It was like a nerdy character, and he kind of
He played a lot of
named it.
video games. So
he willed it into existence. Like it was like his brain made this power basically, and it's a kind of a stretch, but
yeah.
I thought it was very interesting.
Actually, speaking. Oh wait, you said Stretch, not Fetch. Fetch
Yeah.
is the neon character, who I found
yeah.
actually very interesting.
Yeah, I actually wandered into her hideout before I had ever met her, and I was like, "This is a really fucking cool." She's up in a billboard, and like in between them, how
This
climb
current
the ladder.
Yeah.
And I was just kind of zipping around the city, and I landed in there, and it's like a girl's room. There's like kind of like clothes hanging. There's like a
Like-
neon lights that said her boyfriend's name. I forget what his name was.
Yep. It's
And-
brother's name.
And I was like, oh, this is a fucking really cool room. And then I just like, all right, I was gonna take a screenshot. I couldn't figure it out, and I got the fuck out of there. And then I later on you come back, or you're going through the story, and it's like, oh, this other conduit's over here, and you want to try to learn her power, and she's sniping at you, and the first bullet she takes, and you look up, and she's there, and I'm like, oh shit, I know where
already
that
there
room is.
before.
Like that's her. I was like wondering who the fuck lived here. So that was cool. But yeah, I mean, this game is really fun, like very fun. I've been addicted to it for the last couple of days. I dumped a lot of hours into
I
it.
would say that you are. If you already have video, you're
I'm like
about
and for the
3/4, maybe 4/5 through the game.
for the map layout, I would say that I'm 75%
yeah.
complete. I even have them for like fast travel if you unlock every single
You
thing
get-
in the
yeah.
district. So yeah, I shame on me for.
Missing this.
But
early.
I
but
guess
it's free now. I
waiting,
mean,
it's
yeah.
Destiny that is free now, and I get to play it. But if you got PlayStation and you have the paid subscription of the PlayStation Plus, you got to get this game. Like this is a fucking good game.
Yep. I agree.
Put
also,
in the
their,
download and then
there's a DLC for Fetch's character, where it's like a prequel. So you might be interested in that too.
Yeah, I bet. I guess I would have to check it out.
Check that out as well.
So yeah, that was my week. I just played a bunch of that and enjoyed.
Very nice. I'm
Enjoyed
glad
it
you're
all.
enjoying it because
Yeah, it's
I
really
really liked it a lot. I'd love to see a Flash game using similar mechanics of Neon.
Yeah, me too. You know,
It'd
now
be-
that I think about it,
That'd be a pretty cool.
it's a great suggestion.
Yeah, I'll drop that in the mailbox there.
So yeah, why don't you just keep going, Bri?
All right. So continuing on from last week, I am still playing Mario plus Rabbids Kingdom Battle. I am middle of the third world right now. So last time I left you guys, I was towards the end of the first world. And the boss battle of the first world is this Rabbid Kong thing that I'm sure people have seen.
So it's Donkey Kong
It's
as a
Donkey
rabbit?
Kong as a rabbit. He's huge.
Your favorite, I know.
No, and like the boss battles are really fucking smart, as well as the rest of the game is really.
Besides the goofy ass.
I mean, the goofy rabbits at this point are
You're
like
numb to them.
yeah, I'm so numb to them, but they're not overwhelming in any sort of. They're not forced upon you,
Right.
Except
In the
you
party.
can't have 3 characters from the Mushroom Kingdom in your party at once.
It's
Yeah,
OP.
you
It's
told me
over-
this.
it's overpowered.
This sad.
I mean-
You can't.
Well, then don't. You know, I guess that they just
Dude,
don't.
Mario and Luigi as a team already is
I
fucking...
mean, they just don't want to lose the branding. I'm sure that
Yeah.
the Rabbids had their hand in that. Like whoever makes that shit, like you can't
Ubisoft,
lose the brand and
So-
just put only because they
Although-
knew that's what would happen.
I
They
will.
must have.
I will say
It's
that
true.
Rabid Peach is a healer. So
So at
she's
least they threw you a bone on that.
you kind of have to pick her. But it's interesting to see each character and like how they work. So like Mario is your overall like kind of like offensive
Overall
character.
stats.
Luigi is a sniper. Peach is like she's got a weird mixture of like movability, offense, and defense. So she's kind of like
Like
a
move over there,
a
melee
perfect-
attack, and then like move
well,
back.
she
kinda.
has a shotgun blast that like does a ton of damage. So like
So
I'm
you're
rolling
pushing the
right
pace
now.
with her.
I'm rolling with
Peach with a shotgun.
Peach. Well, Mario's always the leader. You can't get rid of Mario. So I'm rolling with Mario, Rabid Peach, and Peach for the most part until a certain thing
Foolish.
has to
You're
happen.
kind of
where
stuck with two.
I would like to do Mario, Luigi, and Peach, but I can't.
You gotta go Mario, Luigi, Rabbit, Peach. And Luigi just sniper
Luigi's
damage all
too
day.
soft. He's too soft.
No,
Yeah,
Luigi-
he is. He has.
Soften
He's
him
a
up.
sniper.
No,
You
you can't-
He's not... Yeah, he's sniper.
You gotta
He
keep
has-
him back. You gotta let Mario take
problem,
the heat.
The problem is
keep
that
the rabbit next to Mario.
not
and
the
you just-
brother.
enemies
Yeah.
spawn right next to him, and then you're fucked because you can't
I gotta
run
get
away.
this. I gotta try this.
It's so. I mean,
I'm telling you just gotta meat dick it. You gotta find a
I
way.
appreciate the
There's
input.
a little niche in the game. That
I will
this
find a
was-
way. I was
yeah.
doing pretty good on that one
We'll break
That
it.
one
counter that I
course,
got into
yeah.
that Brian set me up in.
But it's really it's all I can really think about. Like if I'm at work and I'm not like intently busy in something, I'm thinking about like
Plumbers.
I'm thinking about plumbers and fucking stupid rabbits. Like it's so
They
weird.
may not be plumbers anymore.
Oh yeah, which we'll talk about in the news.
Oh shit! What?
Yeah,
Wow.
we'll get to
He
that.
doesn't read it. I
We'll
forgot.
get to that.
What a twist!
I will say, like the music in this is on par with Banjo Kazooie for me.
Did that have good music?
I would say once a week I
Oh,
have Grunty's Lair just stuck in my head at any given point.
That's crazy.
And now I am playing this game, and the music is so fucking good. And I'm thinking about it, and I'm like, I have the music in my head. It sounds very Avengers-like.
Anthony, you didn't play this?
No, I didn't pick this up. No,
So
really?
I was
you
playing
intrigued?
it.
a little bit. It's
I
a
was
Fire
playing it,
Emblem, kinda.
and
Let the man talk.
Sorry.
yeah, I mean, side conversations.
it's still-
Do
it's just
yeah,
across
it's
the
just
table.
across the table now. These
You should have
idiots.
moved.
So,
Yeah, this big, write that down. This as if we get the graph going.
So-
this is like the minus column.
we have I'm playing it, and Tia's in the other room, and Tia's my fiance, and she's like, "Are you watching Avengers? This music is kicking ass." Like she's like, "This is like a really good fucking music."
Did you jam?
And I'm
She
like,
Jamming out to it.
I mean,
And she
it
equates
honestly.
Avengers to kick-ass music.
I mean, have you listened to like Avengers heroic music?
I guess not with
there
that
you
state
go.
of mind.
Just make fun of shit that you don't think
But
about.
metric.
Smart. But it kicks
Pizza
dick,
night.
man. It's really good. It's really really good.
So this is like a surprise.
Oh, it's like
To you.
this game has blew away my expectations for everything. So like I was going in expecting like the reason I bought the game was I was like it looks vaguely interesting to me and it's a third-party game for a Nintendo console that I want to do third parties to be on. So I was like, of course I'm going to support it. So I shelled out the $60 for the game and I was expecting to maybe play it for like 5 to 10 hours. And I can guarantee you that I will continue to play this game until I beat it. It's so much fucking fun. I really can't recommend it enough. But yeah, the music is like, everything is so top notch. Everything is, you would never imagine that this wasn't made by Nintendo. Like you would never know.
Did we talk about that news article where that was an interview with
The creator of the game.
creator?
Guy
Where
crying?
he said like they really stepped it up for this game.
I could
Like,
imagine.
they wanted to bring, I think something like they wanted to bring the Nintendo quality to the.
It shows. It really does.
Or they didn't. It was or it was more like I didn't want to fuck it up.
Yeah, Nintendo probably dragged him into a closet. Like, yeah, we're gonna support it. Like, if you fuck this game up, Mario's
Something like that.
Who's gonna
Yeah.
stuff in a
so
pipe?
far up your ass. Yeah.
I will say that I would say the one negative about it is
The rabbits.
Well, the rabbits are like at this point I'm over them.
Right.
But the rabbits portion is nothing in comparison to. There's nothing more infuriating than something that seems almost unfair. In
An overpowered type.
in this
Or
game,
for the enemy.
well, I
It's a
mean,
Mario Party.
so.
Well, when you
Tell me
play with
about
somebody,
Tell me about it.
So the problem with this is that there's certain different types of battles in this game. So it's like just defeat everybody, and then there's 6 characters or enemies on the course or the battlefield. You have to take them all out. But then there's other ones where it's like you have to reach this area and it's pretty far away. So you're kind of thinking like, okay,
You have to kill
who's the
anybody.
most mobile character? Who can I bounce off of and get behind here and take cover and not try and die from that. There's like escort missions where it's like Toad or Toadette, and it's like
I
Toad,
hate escort missions.
Toad or Toadette can't do anything but move, so they can't bounce off of each other. They can't.
seems about right.
That's all they have. So you're kind of like surrounding this character. So this character has to be behind cover so they don't get killed. But then your other characters are kind of taking the sacrifice, like taking the blows for them, which is fine. But my biggest issue right now is it's like defeat 10 enemies. And you're like, okay, I can do that. But the problem with that is that it's like an arena-based thing. And they start you off in the middle with no cover. And so these enemies just start spawning all around you. And so the first world or the first level in World 3, it's 3-1. You have to defeat like 8 or 10 enemies, like I was saying. But you only have 3 characters, so it gets to a point where it's like, okay, there's 6 people that start off on the battlefield, but then 2 more spawn, and then 2 more spawn, and it's like, so now I have 6 to 7 normal little rabbits that are shooting me, but then I have these huge tank enemies that are crushing my characters, and on top of that, the normal rabbits are shooting this like ink projectile, which doesn't allow you to attack the next turn. So it's like, what the fuck is happening here? Like you have
What's
to.
the strategy
the
you're missing
challenge.
out on?
Yeah,
that's
so
like-
it's a lot of trial and error on those ones where I'm like, okay, this strategy didn't work. Let me try this, and then it's like that strategy didn't work. Let me try
That's
another
the
one.
bitch about strategy games.
But the problem is
Gotta
that
keep
I'll go back
restarting.
to like my first strategy or the second one, and it's like it just kind of worked out that round. It worked out that time.
Yeah, like the percentages were in your favor and you
It's the
landed the
Fallout
shots.
type
And
thing.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
it's one of those things where
It's a numbers game.
Yeah.
it's just one of those things where I'm like, it's annoying.
Yeah.
And especially
Out of your hands.
Yeah, it's out of your hands, and especially when you've done it like 3 or 4 times, and you're like, these battles aren't short. They're anywhere from like 10 to 20 minutes. So when you get to like minute 15 and you die, and you're like, well, this is the 3rd time I've done that. Like, I don't want to fucking do this anymore. So you
Yeah.
stop. So it does get infuriating, but
Did you gain anything on a lost battle?
nope.
So yeah, it's from.
That's again another issue. But besides that, like even still, like that is very annoying to me. it's not going to deter me from playing it. It's not
Yeah,
going to stop
and
me
you'll
from
figure it out.
Yeah.
Or
and
you'll
I-
get the lucky that one
yeah,
time
I
and
continue to play it.
I hope that's the only
land
one.
that
Like
Luigi. Just keep that Luigi perched. Anytime
Yeah.
somebody moves, just
Snipe him out. huh?
yeah,
God.
to the face.
Yeah. I'll keep that in
That
mind.
death
when somebody-
stare after a
Yeah,
kill.
and hits
He
the-
does have a like a stare ability where if it's called Steely Stare. So if anyone moves, if he's
They
anywhere
were
in the
paying attention to
vicinity,
the memes.
I just referenced it. You know, if
Yeah.
you move, he'll fucking snipe you
well,
out.
if you enable that ability, and somebody starts to move, he fucking just shoots them while they're running.
Dude, headshot death stare. That's fucking.
It's pretty cool.
And then he hits the dab.
Oh God.
Luigi's all over the place.
Yeah.
That year starts this year.
After
The
this
year of
game?
Luigi.
Yep.
Yeah. But I mean, I'm gonna keep playing it. I don't know if I'm really gonna have much more to say about it.
Good luck.
But the boss battles are fucking awesome. The worlds are awesome. I'm in like this ghost town right now, or like the Boo.
Boo.
Yeah. So that's really cool. But moving on, I did also. I finished Uncharted: Lost Legacy this past week. The last I left off.
How many chapters?
9 in total. So it is a short, compact Uncharted. It doesn't deter from how great it actually is. I still very much enjoy the writing and the relationships that are built, and then the way that it concluded. I really liked. I actually ended up liking the antagonists of this game.
What the ending kind of.
The ending kind of
Because they're
flushed
kind of
it out
both
a little bit.
villains
They
in a way.
flushed it out. Well, I mean, not really. She's a thief, and
But she dicks you over like quite a bit. I mean, she's a fucking
No, she
scumbag
doesn't.
about it.
she never dicks you over. Ever.
Doesn't she double? She double crosses you in the second game.
She's a triple agent.
Oh, there's a twist. Yeah, I guess I was pretty sure that she fucked me over. I'm
But
still holding
so
strong.
she
I'll have
fucked
to
you
do
over, but it
some
worked out
research.
in the
Talking
end.
Yeah.
about the second one?
Yeah.
The second game, the girl with the black hair.
Yeah,
I thought it was the
Chloe.
girl with the blonde hair.
No.
No,
That's
it's
his,
the one with the black hair.
that was his ex. Well, they're both
Yeah,
exes,
and
I
she
think.
was kind of like sleazy scumbag status. I'm pretty sure. I'll have to.
Oh, the okay.
Chloe, the one that you like.
I didn't like her.
see, she was a
Yeah.
villain,
She knew
right?
something
Like,
about it.
She did, but yeah, it was like a. But see,
You never know. She's like
my
like an
problem. See,
anti-hero.
once I get like the double cross, but then they come back.
It doesn't.
I don't.
I don't trust them ever
Yeah.
because
Yeah,
it's
he's
the double
right.
cross.
Well, then it could be the triple.
Yeah, there's
cross.
no fool me twice because that's shame on me.
Yeah.
You can't do it. The trust
I
never
don't-
comes back.
I never like. I
Yeah.
will never. I'm always like.
So that's why the one that
Because then
double
they come
crossed.
to you
That's
and
how
say,
you
"No, I
remember
was
it."
only doing that
Yeah.
so I could help
Right,
you.
that's what they all say. They
And
go
then I'm
both sides,
like,
playing both sides of the
get the
fence.
fuck
Yeah,
outta
yeah,
here.
exactly.
the
See,
fuck
I'm with him.
outta
I feel like she's a villain to me. I just immediately
You make one
just like-
mistake on him and that's it.
So
Yeah, hey.
they have a
Welcome to the
character
Earth.
from the series that makes a return besides the two main characters, which kind of works out.
Sullivan?
I'm not going to say who it is, but it kind of works out, and it's and I like the way that they kind of wrapped up the story. I will say that I do like the villains' kind of like backstory and motivations. I feel like they might have done it justice a little bit more had there been another chapter to kind of fully flesh that out. I kind of felt like it wasn't rushed, but it looked like it could use a little bit of massaging, if you will,
To polish
to finish out that character a little bit more.
You need a little bit of work.
Perfect.
Needs
I
improvement.
don't have to say anything.
But yeah, I mean, it's more Uncharted 4. It's fantastic.
Shooting guys in the face.
Shooting guys in the face, lots
That's
of
always it.
climbing. And
What's your
exploration.
favorite gun? What are you, a pistol guy or are you like an assault rifle guy?
My favorite gun in the game. So I
That
kind of
huge
rolled.
revolver.
I kind of rolled around with
Revolver,
a
yeah.
silenced pistol a lot.
That's a fucking clutch move.
Sneaky.
So silenced pistol,
a double cross
but it's
move.
kind of hard to find. When I'm not using that, it was more of it wasn't a Desert Eagle, but it was a scoped pistol that was.
But
pretty
now
powerful.
that you beat the game, you could probably get the unlimited ammo and you
Oh,
can just
yeah.
run around, get the sniper on every mission or the silenced pistol on every mission.
Yep. It's a lot of fun. It really
Classy
is.
stuff.
It's a lot of fun. There's also a ton of different, like, once you beat the game, you could play the entire game in 8-bit mode, which I'm
That
excited
would
to get
be-
back into and try that out.
Yeah.
So there's, like, 8-bit mode,
That seems
Have
fucking
you-
hectic.
cell shaded, like, a bunch of different,
See what it looks like?
yeah. And it looks like,
Sick.
Is it like what?
It
Contra
kind-
or something? Like what? How they do it?
it kind of looks,
I
so
think
do
they
you
just
remember that
literally
game, The
pixelate
Last
the whole
Night?
thing.
the last night it was on E3, Microsoft's E3 show. It was like a pixelated side-scrolling. It looks.
Is it left to right?
Yeah,
So
that's what I think it is. So I'm excited to like try that out and play it.
Side scrolling.
I don't know. I just see them being weird about it and like fucking somehow pixelating every little thing that's as like the regular game, but just everything is pixelated.
That's exactly what it is.
Yeah, so
But
you're
it's
not going left to right side
like
scroll. It's like the actual
you can
game.
see they show an image of what it looks like.
Interesting.
So we'll find out from there.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm excited to get back in and just try out those little things here and there. But the last thing that I played this week was more Overwatch because there is a new game mode that is out, and it is Deathmatch. So I was very skeptical about Overwatch and Deathmatch because Overwatch is all about teamwork, right?
It is indeed.
Because you can
But I
go,
mean, deathmatch is
people
still
do
all about
die.
teamwork. If
not
your
if
team
it's
is
a free
playing
for all.
If it messes up your kill death ratio.
Oh, it's deathmatch.
So-
Just every man
So
for himself.
there's a free for all of 8-man free for all or a 4v4 teams. So I started with the free for all 8-player, and I will tell you, it's fun. It changes the game dramatically because you are always worried
It's just
about someone
super
behind
hectic.
you.
Yeah.
Because when you're so like, let's say you and I are playing on the same team and we're playing Temple of Anubis, right? And you start off in the area and then you kind of walk to the choke point there, right? You have to walk up the stairs to
Yeah.
get to that checkpoint. You always know, or
You just know where
most of the
enemies are
time,
coming from.
Enemies are not behind you. So at any given point, I'm just kind of twirling myself around, making sure no one's on my 6. So it adds
Sweet,
this
guys.
sort of
6. I like that.
it adds this sort of tense.
Yeah, it's fucking sketchy, dude.
So it's a lot
Tracers
of fun.
everywhere.
That's what I'm doing. I'm
Yeah, you
playing
gotta
as Tracer.
Fuck yeah, you gotta get the hell out of there.
So I'm zipping around, having a blast, annoying people. Like 2 people will start fighting, and I'm like, okay, and all right, you're dead, you're dead, and I get the double kill while those 2 idiots.
The double.
Yep.
Just get the fuck out of there.
But the 4v4 is interesting because you never really know if you need a healer or not. So.
Can you switch it? Wow.
Yeah, you can
So-
switch after you die. It's very similar to
Sinners.
like normal Overwatch.
Yeah.
But most people are running around McCree, Soldier,
Soldier.
Reaper, Genji. Like that's kind of like the power team. Like if people are really good and putting on good shots, no one's beating them.
right,
Even
those are
if
all
you
attack characters.
Yeah.
Of course, that's how DPS
That's-
works.
yeah.
But like
Yeah.
but Reaper is
Ridiculous.
because every time he shoots you, he gets some health.
Yeah.
Now that's how he works. So he's
As opposed to after the kill.
All 4 Reapers.
so if you're thinking, well,
You can only
you
pick
can't.
one at
You
a
can only
time.
pick one
Alright.
at a time. But if you're doing a free for all and there's more than 2 Reapers, it's like it just turns into a shit show. Like everyone switches to Reaper, and then it's just like a Reaper 8 for 8, and it's ridiculous. But
That's when you gotta Pharah the shit out of them.
yeah, that wouldn't be a bad.
Yeah, it
But
wouldn't.
The problem is that they
Yeah.
all kind of stay in buildings.
They wouldn't.
well, they might
I
though.
don't know.
They
I'm
could
just trying to
hide.
give you suggestions.
Some-
I
advice, some
appreciate. I
strategies.
really do appreciate the suggestions.
No, you don't.
I do.
All right.
Because I was like, that's a smart idea. Maybe I'll try that next time. But
You didn't say that.
no, I didn't. I just did, but I didn't say that.
Tore them
I
down.
heard that.
Denied
Heard
that.
that. Wish I didn't hear that, but I heard that. But yeah, I mean, it's fine. I don't think that Overwatch is going to, I guess, thrive with a deathmatch mode. I hope that they don't keep that. I hope that that's just a one and done type of thing like Capture the Flag was. I wish Lucio Ball was more of a permanent thing, but I don't think Overwatch is going to do well with deathmatch. I felt
Yeah, it's just more fan service, I think. Just like, here, play with this for a while. And
it's
just like, we don't have any, might not be a season going on or like a holiday
Season 6 did
event
just
or
start,
something.
though,
but it's still kind of an event in a way. It's
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
know,
it's
more stuff for you to play. It's new. It's there.
Yeah.
They'll take it away. They'll put something else there.
I will say that 4v4 is the way to go if you're going to start off. That's what I would do, and just kind of move up to 8 free for all.
Yeah, that can make it like super team based, like even way more
Yeah.
so if everyone's on like really playing.
Oh, yeah.
That could
Actually
probably
would
get
help.
real intense.
If you guys forward team,
Yep,
then
that's true too.
you don't have to worry about your other players bringing you down. We still actually do, but
Yeah,
Yeah. Sorry, I play a fucking mean Lucio.
yeah. Lucio's a viable character in that too.
in every game type.
Just booping people. But I'm gonna stop talking about Overwatch and
Yeah.
I'm gonna pass it on over to Anthony.
Hey, Anthony.
What's going on? How you
What you
been?
got, dude?
What do
He's
I
gonna
got?
hit us with something.
I'm gonna hit you with something.
Hit me with it.
Yakuza.
Yakuza Kiwami.
So Brian updated us.
Yep.
What is he playing?
So Yakuza Kiwami is actually a remake of Yakuza 2 from the PS2.
Okay.
So this is
that's where we're
So
at.
Zero must be like I said. Zero, the other one I played before that must have been the
One.
original.
Yep.
And then,
So,
so you're playing if I can update version number 2.
correct.
Look at that. Not bad.
Which, like I said before, wasn't bad because it's $30, so it's not
Yeah.
ineffective.
And now
Solid remake.
Now you don't have
Yeah.
to worry about any story that you missed because you're kind of right on track
I'm all
now.
caught up.
Yeah.
But just to keep up to date with that, like I said, progressed further in the story. Just a few things that kind of interest me about it was like, so when I explained the story that he kind of gets out of jail and shifts from Japan. So it's gone like almost 20 years, I think, from the original when it started and then this one. So it's
The original was like an 80s game, wasn't it?
1988 is when
Yep.
it starts.
And so this one is he gets-
2005.
Okay, I thought it was 95. 95, he gets pinched, right?
Yeah.
And he goes to jail.
And then he goes to jail for 10 years. So you see
Okay.
Japan in like 98 or whatever.
Oh,
however-
so you get the culture
or
shock.
95. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you get that culture shock, and then it just automatically skips to 2005.
Mm-hmm.
But it does a few interesting things because it updates the culture as well. So even he notes, like, everyone calls him old man, whoever you encounter on the streets. Like, look at this old man, because he's 40. Or he's close to 40.
Mm-hmm.
Same with, like, the old game had you save with, like, payphones or phone booths or whatever.
That's awesome.
And, like, he notices that he's like, how come there's not really any phone booths around anymore?
Oh, yeah, right, because cell phones have
Yeah.
been a thing.
So everyone's
Yeah.
holding a cell phone. Because then when the guy hands him the cell phone, he's like, what's this contraption? He's like, do you know how to use it? And he's like, yeah, I'll figure it out. And then
Old man.
That's awesome.
he kind of goes on to do that. But just small details like that were kind of interesting, including like karaoke bars you go to, it's updated. I mean, it's like they're
Doesn't know any
updated,
of the hits anymore.
like new technology, and it's kind
Yeah.
of like him just sitting there.
He missed out on all that Britney bitch.
Pretty much. You're looking for like bars. Like obviously the landscape changed, so there's new bars that they kind of did as well. So,
But there's still the same old gang activity, I'm assuming.
well, they're all dead, yeah.
Right. But,
Yeah.
you know, somebody else took over. It's a gang. You're
Yeah.
still a gangster, right? Gangster.
So actually, no, you're out of you've been exiled because when you kill in Yakuza, it's kind of like the mob kind of thing. Where, like if you kill a guy above you, he got lucky because he didn't get kicked out completely. He just got expelled.
Oh, so they're not coming for him.
So he's still a Yakuza. No, they're coming for him because of certain. I didn't kind of want to
'cause
spoil like.
certain other stuff.
You don't
yeah,
wanna-
besides
yeah.
some
He's like
scumbaggy
he's
stuff.
in like deep shit.
I mean, the thing is, that's the life you choose. I mean, that's all, you know, they're never into any good stuff. They're not like donating books to churches. They're, you know, they're shooting people. So I
Yeah.
get it.
They do try to make him seem like the piece. Like the Yakuza has the thing of like the old mobs from like Al Capone, where like they don't kill cops or anything. So they have a strict like set of rules, and he's kind of like the most like by the books of like
So
Old
they have a
school.
pirate's code, if you will.
kind of yeah. It's like things that they will not do, like you're not supposed to do, and then like he follows it pretty well. Like he's like the top person. Like everyone kind of looks to him of like what's acceptable within Yakuza.
Oh, okay.
So I just thought that was interesting for it. Like I said, all I really did was continue the story. So
What kind of missions are we playing here? Like Grand Theft Auto, like run, grab this, bring it back, whatever? Is it kind of like GTA like that, or is there a lot of like conversation things?
a lot of comments, like I said, it's more of like you pretty much
Well,
have to dig,
Japanese are over explainers.
pretty much
Everything is over explained.
you finding information, pretty much something. or
Everybody wants to talk to him. The shopkeeper, the fucking guy on the bike, the taxi driver,
He nailed-
is
yeah,
fucking.
he kinda
the-
nailed it,
Yeah,
yeah.
like the guy at the hotel. Like everybody's talking to you about everything.
So, like, the
oh, I
sim-
put my shoes on today because the ground was cold and I didn't want my feet to get cold. You're like,
And then I
thanks.
lost, and it's no, it's like that. He's like, well, I lost my socks and my sandals, and next thing you know, you're like on a side mission of
Finding
Yeah.
socks and sandals.
Yeah,
Just
so-
go to the fucking
well,
store.
he's like I said, he's a nice Yakuza. He'll buy like where it's like, oh, now go buy the old man who's poor some socks and sandals, and next thing you know, you're roped into this whole
Yeah,
like side
and
quest.
it's just like this life story dumped out on you. How he got there, why he's there.
Sounds terrible.
But it's still
No.
You
dubs.
enjoying it at least?
story. It's an interesting story. Like I said, doing all like the side stuff they have, like Yakuza, like the karaoke and stuff, is pretty fucking funny.
How's the combat?
Combat's fluid.
Good?
Very
Yeah,
nice
good.
combat. I'll enjoy the skill tree. Like I said, it's 4 modes. It's like beast mode, dragon. The other one's like a quick, more like,
Agile.
agile movement, and then I forget the 4th one. But and then it each has like a skill tree within that to learn
To
different
get some
techniques.
powers for
Nice.
it. That's good. Some variety.
That's probably one of the best things about the game is the skill tree for that.
Very cool.
Kicking ass.
And it's random.
I like that
encounters.
it's fist fighting because the guns is just so overdone.
Yeah.
It's just like everybody can shoot.
Is it like Batman, or is it more like true crime Streets of LA fighting?
It's a mix, kind of.
Yeah, it's a pretty hard extremes.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Because like, what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to think of when the game originally came out.
Yeah.
Right, I guess.
So the game originally came out in like 2002 to 5, somewhere in that general area. Let's just guess. And so, like, what other
guess.
game was around then that had fighting? So I was just thinking. So
Yeah,
is it
I've seen
always
gameplay.
constantly behind you, the camera like behind
it's got-
over your shoulder,
yeah.
or is it like kind of like more top down, kind of like Batman gets when like a
Well,
bunch
what
of
was that
people-
game?
No,
Alpha
behind.
Dogs?
What's that?
Or no, not that's a movie. What's that one that was free? It's a way
Sleeping
more
Dogs.
Watch
Oh,
Dogs.
Sleeping Dogs?
Maybe
Sleeping Dogs is like super arcadey version of it. I've seen video, but it's like that. Like a lot of the 5-on-1 combats, and it's a little slower and a little bit more methodical, but it's still pretty like square, triangle,
Yeah.
It's
combos.
Fluid like Batman, but you still have time to change your style to adapt who you kind of fight. So if you're
Okay.
losing in like the agile mode, you can just immediately
the
switch to
style
like
up.
beast because you
That's
need more
cool.
power.
Okay.
Along with the techniques. And like I said, it does it where random like people just walk up to you and like, oh, you'll get jumped.
But you're still throwing combos down, right? Like
Oh,
it's a square, triangle, circle.
You're not
or
just
Yep,
something
and then
like
like
that.
then he'll
mashing.
smash his
And then
face
he'll
into
do like the
something.
different
Awesome.
kick setup, like leg sweep, like choke slam or something.
Choke, it'll be choke slam one of them, and then like you hit special. So it'll be like, yeah, it'll tell you the combo square, triangle, and like he'll grab him and then just slam his face into something that's nearby.
Nice.
So that's
Yeah, people like this. A lot of fucking people love this game.
yeah, it's got a hidden following kind of.
Nice. Okay. Very cool.
But moving on from that, I did also pick up, I guess, completely opposite direction, RBI Baseball 2017.
RBI, these games, I've played one of these. So what do you think?
The only thing I did not like was I couldn't customize. Like the last baseball game I played was like MLB, like 2007. I remember it was where you could customize like the player's stats and kind of like micromanage the season a little bit more. This is just like strictly baseball. It's like off season, postseason.
This game is super bare bones. Like super bare bones. I
Where
felt like
are
I
you
didn't
playing
have.
this on?
Switch. It's $30. Well, I was thinking, because I was
Holy
at
shit.
work, I need something like
Yeah,
again.
at least it's sports. I mean, for
It's
you,
a hybrid,
as
I
for
get
somebody
it.
who's actually
Do you?
you probably pay attention to baseball. For me, this was super bare bones. I play a lot of sports games though.
Very
So for me, I picked it up. Because Xbox doesn't have any baseball games.
No,
I don't know if you
not a
knew
one.
that. And this was one that was on there. I'm like, all right, let me fucking check it out. And it's just literally like, it feels super arcadey. The characters are kind of goofy looking, like big heads almost.
Not yeah.
And it's like you float. You can go left and right in the batter's box.
Yep.
And you can swing.
That's it.
There you go. And that's that.
Yeah. Same with
So-
pitching. He can move. You can alter the pitch.
Yeah, pitching is just you move left and right, and it's just like you hit A and left and right, and I was disappointed.
Sorry, bud.
Correct.
But
Are
like
you
I said,
also
I play a lot of
disappointed?
sports
Yeah,
games.
a little disappointed. Like I said, but then not sports games wise. I was looking for something to kind of like
It's on the go.
pretty much handheld wise to kill time really at work.
Yeah,
I gotta
you're just waiting for that
Sonic
backyard
Mania,
baseball
man.
remake,
Should have
right?
got Sonic Mania.
do backyard baseball on it would be
Yeah.
fucking
So
sick.
it looks good. The game doesn't
Yeah.
look bad, but you play. For me, I got bored of it. I played a couple of minutes of it, or like a couple of games of it in like the season mode. But they even set you up. There's no like careers, no this, no that. It's just like quick play, season mode, options.
Well, it's funny because I was like, I'll do the full season, the 162 games. I was like, there's no way I'm doing 162 fucking
You gotta
games.
be able to cut them
Is
down.
it like legitimately all of
The whole, it's a full season. We'll let you can pick. You can do,
You do like 72 games,
Mhm.
yeah, like 34 games. It's like weird setups for it.
or you can go straight to the postseason if you wanted to.
Oh, that's cool.
It does give you like players.
There's only one October.
Yeah, it's in baseball,
Brian, you're gross.
but gives you updated it
it.
for like the most recent roster of players. So I have like Chris Sale on the team and everything. So obviously
right.
I'm playing as.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's always fun to play some sports games. You gotta throw them in there, pepper them in when you can. But I would love. This brings me on the topic. Would love to see a nice backyard baseball
Baseball, yeah.
comeback. Fucking
Pablo
come
Sanchez,
on, put
just
that.
like-
Imagine that on the Switch.
That would-
Pablo Sanchez
on the go,
Backyard
just-
Sports is would make a comeback.
Yeah.
Hard. That would be
know.
a really great like franchise to just get like a Switch exclusive.
Yeah.
Just
Or
have it
even
on Switch.
like MLB The Show being on the PSP. I almost bought one if they weren't so expensive. Like that MLB The Show on the PSP is fucking crazy.
I think
The show's
you're
a good
talking
game.
about Vita.
Excuse
Correct.
me, on the Vita.
Yeah.
Sorry, on the Vita.
The
It
show
was
is probably
awesome.
Yeah.
And if they weren't like what fucking back then, like $300 or
They're
crazy.
still
They're
like
still-
$170 to $200.
Yeah. Actually, that's not
On a
too
dying
bad,
system.
But
Well, I mean,
for now you just got to get a Switch at that point,
Think about this, right? If they just fucking dropped it down to $99, how many people would go out and
Pick
buy
that.
one?
Yeah.
just to have baseball on the go.
I mean-
but yeah, that's interesting. There's not many baseball games out there.
Nope. Well, not on like I
There
said.
must
on,
be somebody must have a patent or something where like how Madden did it with people no one.
It's just
could make
ML
football games and shit.
I think it's just
They have to go through the ML.
So-
I mean,
With the market, they're just too afraid.
Studio San Diego, I think, makes MLB The Show, and that's a second-party developer for Sony. So and just no one can make a good baseball game
Just because
for
it's
Microsoft.
so dominant.
Yeah, and like no one wants to
Because they
even
had
try.
Challenge
MVP,
that
MVP baseball, which I was a fan of,
MVP. Yeah.
and you had like the pitch meter,
Yep.
and it was
It's kind of like
Yeah.
Madden, though.
Yeah.
Nothing really right. Madden's got the whole like it's
Well,
locked in. It's just no
Yeah,
one else plays.
No one
even though
else can make a game.
even though what was the game that was better like back
NFL 2K. It was 2K15 or 2K05. 2K.
yeah.
2K5.
They had a first-person view.
Yeah.
which people said was sick, but just
That
one of those things.
game-
It doesn't have players' names.
Well,
they
the
didn't
thing
want
is
it.
that Madden. No. So 2K5 was a like
Oh, legit.
the point. The reason why Madden ended up like getting the rights to the NFL was because EA realized that someone had made a better game, a better football game than they did. So they went to the NFL and got exclusive rights for the players,
Yeah.
so no one else
use
can
their
use
names.
their names or anything like that.
That's what he said, and they've.
That's
so-
it. No one. Yeah, no
But
one.
like,
no one wants
if-
to play with Joe
if
Schmo.
you,
It's
if you
just-
look at like what are the best like sports games now? They're the 2K games. The 2K games are much better than almost anything
Well,
else.
no, that's the only one that they have is basketball. Because
they have-
Madden has EA has
Well, they might be
football
better
and
games.
soccer, which soccer's the number one sports game,
FIFA, yes.
and Madden is the second most.
Yep.
and
But
then basketball.
That's what I'm saying. Like they were making a better football game than.
Oh yeah,
Madden.
people loved the shit out of that
Yeah.
game when it came out. People were going crazy for it, and they were like, "God damn it!" But I think they kind of did the same thing. Didn't 2K do the same thing with the NBA? Didn't they buy the rights to that?
No,
for
it's
it?
just
or no.
so
I think
the thing
EA's,
is they can't make a good
fucked up.
basketball
yeah,
game.
because NBA Jam.
Well, I'm gonna get the new one
You're gonna get
in a week.
2K18.
You're gonna get 2K18. You're not.
No, I'm
yeah.
gonna get NBA Live.
No, you're not because they're not making an NBA Live. You're getting the one with Shaq.
It's
No, I'm
2K.
getting NBA Live. I have the demo for it. Comes
You're-
out.
Getting the is it the one with Shaq on the cover?
I don't think so. No, I think it has.
The
Kyrie
Ultimate
Irving?
Edition. Okay, it's
I don't
Kyrie.
know who it has. I have the demo for it.
Irving's.
I started to be a pro mode on it.
All right.
That's what I'm
Everyone
getting.
wants to be a pro.
Fuck 2K.
Sure.
So, anyways, that was weird. Tangent, huh?
Yeah. Good old tangent. But what else are you playing, pal?
All right, so Pillars of Eternity.
I kind of know. I think I know what this game is, but
This was a Kickstarter, so but looking at it, it looked a lot like Diablo. Playing it, it still feels the same way. Not much of a story to begin with, but you are protecting kind of a caravan, and then something strange happens.
Those strange things, man.
So it gets into the whole like when you start. Like I spent like an hour doing like selecting the class because it takes a bunch of like things from other games and then kind of mashes it up into one.
so before you get into the nitty gritty of this, is it a Diablo clone or is it?
It's tough. I would say no because, like the dialogue options of something I would say is more from Fallout, where like it gives you such like depending on what stats you have different the dialogue options, and then from there it brings like a subcategory of like other options.
Okay, what are we talking? What does it look like?
It looks like
combat?
Diablo. That's why
It looks so isometric,
Yeah,
top
top down.
kind of like 3/4.
Beat 'em
Okay.
up.
No, the combat is slightly different where like it makes it so that it pauses the game when you enter a combat scene, so you can kind of prep yourself before.
And prepare a strategy.
So like it lets you like hit the skill wheel beforehand, so you can do everything like before the combat even starts, including your like party as well. Which is kind of annoying because usually if I just want to dive
gonna
straight into
skip it out.
combat and just fucking like go head first into it, it doesn't kind of let you do that.
Well,
But-
hey, strategy first. You
Is that
know?
what that is? Think about the decision.
Yeah, you
before
gotta measure twice and cut once, right?
He's
gotta-
not wrong. He's not
gotta
wrong
compare.
there.
Is that the Coach McGurk model?
Yeah, that's an old contracted trick.
But like I said, it takes things from other elements of other games as well. So to start off, it lets you choose your pretty much race, which is if you want to be. It does elf, dwarf, human, like godlike, and then
What'd you do?
something godlike.
You're such a.
You look
I
like a
knew
devil.
it.
Is that what? It is?
Oh,
Yeah.
you look like a devil.
You
Now
look
I
like-
even double knew it.
So, and then from there, it does like all these subcategories. Like selecting it was like the longest process of anything because you select everything down from like
It's tough to have to make all those choices right away.
Yeah. Because
And,
then
like,
you
it takes
never
me like
really
5
know.
hours to pick a character name.
but it does everything from like the backler of the character affects like your stats. So like it's like
Did you grow up on a farm, or
like
did
Ar-
your,
like Aragon
mom
from
get
fucking
murdered?
Lord of the Rings.
yeah, like it's like
Best trilogy of our time.
but it makes you
Dude.
choose like all like where he grew up, and then that affects
Story.
like your stats, and then you like it gives you the lure of the character. Like this dwarf didn't grow up in the mines.
So
he
you're
grew
like
up in a
reading
cave.
all the things on all the people.
all the
and-
subcategories
yeah.
is how it affects the game. Is just like it's like this long process of fucking
And figuring out what you want to do.
of how it affects me later on because one of the main
If
things
this
on
is how you start it, you know, you must be in for it. So you want to pick the right thing.
the long haul. Well, its main campaign is like all the small decisions you make affect you like in the long run.
Yeah.
You see, that's where things get complicated.
What are you playing this on?
PS4.
Okay.
But yeah, it was PS4 came out. It was only $50. It wasn't 60. Like I said, it was a Kickstarter.
It's expensive Kickstarter.
Yeah,
Obsidian.
that's an
But hey,
expensive
people
Kickstarter.
must have liked it.
Obsidian
if they put up
does
the
it.
cash.
It's the people who did New Vegas.
Oh, interesting.
But it's
Interesting.
It really is just like a micromanagement of like everything, and then like the mashup of every game included. It kind of does get cluttered at times, just because
Okay.
like of all like I said like like how you kind of level up is everything from like when you travel from a place to place, it gives you like experience points, which was kind of weird. Along with the fact that like it automatically takes out like supplies because of the travel.
Oh, right. Depending on distance.
So it has like survival elements, like so the dialogue's kind of from Fallout, where like if you make a decision, it'll automatically bring up like a second menu where like you have then other dialogue options that also affect like whether or not he will attack you or whether or not he will help you later on.
Right.
So it does that to it, and then obviously the basic combat of just
Beat the shit out of
equipment, like equipment.
Do your weapons break?
Weapons do not break.
Awesome.
At the moment, like I
that's
said, haven't
clutch.
really figured out kind of a whole.
Everything.
It's like a strategy game because, like I said, it pauses the menu. Then you have to figure out how you kind of want to tackle the enemy, and then
Are you getting your ass kicked?
yes, I'm in a dungeon now where I've died I think 4 or 5 times, so that's kind of been a deterrent.
So you're hitting the wall right now.
hitting the
You gotta
wall
find a-
because I
find
don't
a
know like
crack in it.
how to level up is kind of like I don't want to level up because usually before like combat would be kind of fluid where like you'd gain experience as you go along or you'd find enemies to kind of like guide you
Farm.
along the way where like if I didn't feel like leveling up like you'd still make it by like here like you kind of have to go back and look for ways to get experience.
Interesting.
Don't know if I
Sounds like
that.
they might have some kinks to work out.
A little few kinks. Overall, though, I'd give it probably yellow, though. Hesitant for some people, but the mashup overall.
But for someone like you who's into the
grind.
micromanaging and grinds, you can handle it.
yeah,
Very nice.
For
Very nice.
some variety for you.
change the pace. You know
the
how
rest
it's
of
you know
us,
how it's
it's,
different
you know.
from
yeah. It's,
I get it.
my
It's-
week to week.
Yeah.
I get it.
You got
yeah.
RBI baseball. It's fucking more.
I
you
know
want.
the deal.
Yeah.
I mean, I fucking hit some home runs. Caught some pop flies.
If you can control the players.
Yeah.
Yeah, or you can't. It's up to you.
But that was it this week.
All right, and I think that's actually
It's
going
a
to
long
be it
week.
for Under Your Thumb this week. We're going to take a quick break and come right back with the Drunken News. Stay tuned. Don't rush him, Steven.
Come on.
The PH.
And we're back, everybody. The Tangent Podcast, Drunken News. Brian,
Yeah.
Maestro,
All right.
let's make it happen.
All right.
away.
First piece of news that we have
Camera's on.
this week, staring directly at the camera. Despite Square Enix's promises, and after about 6 months, Nier Automata has not received any patch on the PC.
What the fuck, man?
So, I'm just going to say this right now. get a fucking console, you pleb.
Oh wow, the rebuttal.
I don't know if that works.
Holy shit.
Doesn't work. So back in June,
Shots
there
fired.
was really no patches for Nier Automata, which came out in February of this year. And Square Enix has attempted a damage control back in June, claiming that it's been working with both NVIDIA and AMD in order to release a patch for Nier Automata. And it's been 6 months in total, but 2 months since that first announcement, and there's been no update. Apparently, back in July 28th, a driver update happened, which is apparently not a
No, not
like a
patch.
proper PC patch.
Nope.
No. And so apparently there are a few issues. NVIDIA released in July a new driver that addressed the issue where the screen would turn white during Automata's gameplay, and AMD fixed a bug that could cause the screen to go blank and or white, along with some other issues such as random hangs, game crashes after short periods of gameplay. No performance improvements, no PC enhancements, no official fixes for the game's ridiculous resolution issues, no improvements to the game's keyboard mouse control scheme, and no fixes for any of the game's bugs that have been reported by its community. And this was broke by DSO Gaming, and I'm really sorry for the PC community.
People who bought that.
Yeah, that's that. I mean, I joke about it like, hey, you should get a console, but it's pretty shitty for Square to not update this.
If it's that bad.
They get the money.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing is
It's
that
like,
they
gotcha,
have
bitch.
they
got
have
that.
the resources.
Yeah, they could do. This isn't like some port or some company that just like the two people from the Batman one. where
Yeah,
it's
it
just-
wasn't two people fucking porting Batman Arkham Knight to the PC. It's a legitimate thing, and
It's a pretty good selling game. So
yeah, it did well for it, and it reviewed well. It's like, why would you kind of like exile your PC fan base on that? Like, they're not gonna take it. Like, I wouldn't take another chance on a
Square
game like
Enix
that.
Final Fantasy
Yeah.
15 on PC.
I
Yeah.
mean, it's not looking good.
Man,
Not looking good. But
should probably play that.
On
Final
PC.
Fantasy 15.
Well, it's coming.
at
It's
least
coming to
look at
PC,
it.
I think.
Well, I mean,
You got Gary.
he-
Have
he-
Gary doing
I
that.
got the PlayStation.
yeah, he's got the PlayStation. He'll be fine, and the Xbox.
Take pictures of the food.
So he'll be good.
I would do it with the PlayStation just to feel classy about it.
A little bit above the,
Yeah,
but
a
still
little
the,
Just to feel like that's where it belongs.
the classes.
Yeah.
You just dust the shoulder. And
But bless you,
Oh,
bless you.
boy.
Gesundheit.
Oh, thanks. Yeah.
According to
Two seasons?
Kotaku, Mario is officially no longer a plumber.
breaking news for someone else.
This is breaking news. We talked about this
Who
during
told Kotaku this?
Nintendo.
Oh,
So, here is the recently uploaded Mario profile that explains the character. And I'm just going to read it entirely, and then we'll go from there. So, quote, all around sporty, whether it's tennis or baseball, soccer or car racing, he does everything cool. As a matter of fact, he also seems to have worked as a plumber a long time ago. And that is the character bio for Mario. So it's seemingly
the worst bio of all time.
yeah. He's no longer a
I mean, it was
plumber.
accurate.
Yeah.
But I mean, who's to say that he's not a plumber? I mean, if a monster plant is in a tube and he kills them
It's a plumber's
and
work.
it's now unclogged, is that not plumbing? To a degree, I know no one called him or like it's not in a house, but
Well,
We'll clean
Maybe
your
he's
pipes.
just retired.
maybe it's one of those things where
maybe
it's
he
saying,
can't get to work because this fucking princess can't stop getting captured.
He
She's
lost
got a
work.
whole castle to hide in, and Bowser just kidnaps her like every goddamn year.
But wouldn't he be the plumbing?
He's got all these jobs lined up. He can't even get to them. His brother's half on the bag all the time. He can't do anything on his own. The little toad's running around. He's petrified.
He's the plumber for Princess
Give the guy a
Peach.
break.
He's cleaning her pipes.
Oh, you know what? That was just low class.
low
I
hanging
would
fruit
never stoop
all
that
the way.
low.
Yeah,
Really?
never once. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, the sentence says that he seems to have worked as a plumber a long time ago, meaning he's no longer a plumber. I don't know how to take that. Was Mario ever a real
I
doctor?
bet you the Mushroom Kingdom has excellent plumbing.
Yeah. I'm gonna
Yeah,
say so.
I'm sure.
It's too. I mean, Luigi's probably the
That's
plumber.
his
That-
hand. He
That's
keeps
how I'm
it
looking
safe.
at that.
You know,
Luigi didn't
ipso
retire
facto.
Yeah.
I mean, he's responsible for the plumbing success,
of the
no matter how you look at
of the
it.
castle.
Might be too busy saving the princess, though.
Yeah, exactly. No joke. Like he's got so many people, it's clogged toilets.
Never heard the
Just
Mushroom
doesn't
Kingdom having a
have the
problem.
time.
yeah.
Sorry, we're gonna have to squeeze you in 3 months.
That's a weird way to put it when we're talking about clogged toilets.
Yeah, well, there's the joke there.
Ugh, that's the shitty joke.
Very nice. Moving on. Resident Evil 7 new DLC screenshots and story details were announced this week. So this comes from Game Rant. So launching alongside the game's Gold Edition on December 12th are 2 expansions: Not a Hero starring Chris Redfield and End of Zoe, where players will take on the role of Zoe Baker. End of Zoe, I'm imagining that's what it is. End of Zoe, not End of Zoe.
Yeah.
So, Not a Hero will be released for free for all players, all Resident Evil 7 players on December 12th, and will put players in the boots of franchise hero Chris Redfield. We now know that Not a Hero will take place after the events of the base game, with Chris exploring the caverns beneath the Baker family mansion. So, Justin, did you play this at all, Anthony?
We both played it,
Okay, so
actually.
you both played it.
Well,
so the
I
Baker
didn't finish it.
the Baker family, I'm gonna imagine, is the family in
The dinner table,
house that
yeah.
you're in. Okay. So in terms of gameplay, Not a
very safe to
Hero
say.
should be a little more action-packed than the base game, considering Chris's extensive background with battling monsters. Speaking of monsters, Not a Hero will also introduce a brand new type of enemy, though details are not exactly available at this time. So, for those of you the 2 of you that played it,
Yes.
'cause
Those of you.
Yeah.
this was a little bit slower paced game,
It was
right?
more, yeah, I feel like it less action, more horror,
Running
adventure.
from
Intense.
Yeah.
intense kind of-
adventure a little bit, I guess, if you will. I mean, in reality, it is. You're just
Okay.
kind of going along, first person experience. It's horror.
Is there any kind of combat?
Oh, guns? There's
No,
guns. You
you
get
still-
guns. You got to shoot the monsters. You got to shoot the
Shotgun.
enemies.
Okay.
Yeah, the boss battles. At least
So
the
you
couple
can
that I
see
played.
it more action game rather than more of just like stealth.
You're
and kind of-
definitely not. There's not as many enemies as there would be in like a 4.
Oh no.
or-
I'm sorry. I didn't. Maybe I phrased that
So,
wrong.
yeah.
I'm saying in this DLC, if it's you could see it being more action packed. They kind of have left that open to. It's not just
Yeah.
strictly stuck to
No. The
stealth
basic-
and
Well,
horror.
the thing is, I mean, they had the weird monsters. Remember, we talked about them, like those gray
basement.
blobs,
Yep.
and black blobs. I mean, they could probably pop those up all over the place. I mean, they could probably.
How
It's
far
Resident
did-
Evil. They could disease whatever the fuck they
How
want.
far did you
Gave
get
plenty of targets.
into the game?
I was like the mom with the bees, or whatever. The
So you never
grandmother,
left
mother.
the actual.
No, I didn't make it too
the
far.
house.
Too
the-
stressful. It was
so
just
you-
way too stressful. It's the worst.
For you, for me, it was a piece of cake. But
Yeah.
at the end of the game, though, it kind of gave
Hold on,
me.
no spoilers.
Yeah, but like where it was moving for like the blob people of like what it kind of told you the direction of Resident Evil. Because there's no like zombies. It's not like a horde of zombies
Yeah.
coming at you and we just shotgun them to death. It's the enemies have like what their higher health rates. I mean, they're kind of bullet sponges, but
So yeah, he'd have plenty of things to shoot.
Okay, so that was kind of my question for you guys, was that I wasn't exactly sure
Yeah, they got, like,
if
this
it
little
would kind
drone
of
army going.
if it would feel if it would feel right in that kind of
Well, let's see how they
game-
do it.
gameplay.
You know, is this? It could also refresh my memory that really awesome trailer of him and one of the other main characters. They're fighting zombies in a hallway, and they seemingly have unlimited clips. There was a video that came out, and Chris Redfield and Leon Kennedy are like in a hallway fighting.
That's 6. That's probably 6. Resident Evil
oh, it
6.
was the video came out recently. It was really awesome.
There is like
Remake.
CG movies and stuff like that too that you could have seen it on, but
that's
Awesome.
what you want.
but
Yeah, well, whatever that was, I want 2 of them.
moving on from what is it? Not a Hero. You're getting End of Zoe, which is going to be a separate purchase. But for those of you that have the season pass, you'll be able to download it for free. And it will star Zoe Baker, and it'll take place after the events of the base game story. And the only thing that we really know about it is that it's going to be set in the swamps of Louisiana.
What? I think that's basically
The scariest part of the whole thing.
Is that where? So is the house in Louisiana?
There's one
Well,
part
actually-
that like the mom part that I was talking about. She's like out on a dock-ish
Yes.
area, so there's water around, swampy.
It's a
like-
swamp. I don't remember if it was Louisiana.
I was in the house the whole time, but I forget where. It tells you where you're starting, where you're going
Yeah, where-
first. But
Gotcha.
it makes sense. It's probably an extension of the house. They have like a huge lot of land. So and it seems like each member of the family that you took down in the game was in a different piece of the property.
Like I said, not to kind of spoil, but like when you leave the lot, something else
There's
is
like the main house
is
and there was
going
like the yard and there's this and that.
Or
So
a-
they could probably just add another part of property and just glue it right on.
Nice. Okay. But the game is coming, or it seems like both of the DLCs are coming out December 12th.
one's just free, one's paid.
Yeah. And it's available for PC, PS4, PlayStation VR, and Xbox One. So,
Bing bang boom.
more details, I'm sure, to come. Lifeless Moon, the follow-up to Lifeless Planet, looks like a classic sci-fi dream. So Stage 2 Studios announced its latest game, Lifeless Moon, is now live on Kickstarter, which you can go back right now. In this space adventure, players will uncover the mystery of Moon City, as well as explore other destinations while undertaking puzzles and collecting items. Here is the official blurb. Quote, Lifeless Moon takes players on a fantastic journey through the eyes of the Apollo-era astronauts. There will be light platforming and a deeper focus on puzzles than in Lifeless Planet. The core gameplay experience is one of exploration and discovery, complementing the mysterious and psychological themes of the story. So, Justin, you played Lifeless Planet.
Yeah, I didn't finish it, but I played a couple hours of it.
And so, Lifeless Planet, you play as an astronaut that's kind of stranded on this lifeless planet.
Yep.
And as far as I know, there's just kind of puzzles in order to kind of survive and make your way
for me,
through.
there was a lot of like just finding shit, like just jetpacking and finding.
Your old crew, whatever.
Yeah, you're finding like dialogue and you're finding the path to go.
And while discovering the story of what
and
happened
it's weird
here.
because you show up, you're on this deserted planet, but you're all of a sudden you're walking through deserted what looks to be towns, and all of a
So
sudden
something
you see
was
like
here at one point.
like where it was colonized or something already. So, but it's all run down, and you're finding audio logs, and you're following footprints. And to me, if I remember correctly, I was just kind of following. There's like a right way to go.
Yeah.
Kind of find.
So
a
you're
way.
just following the path.
path,
Yeah, so I think that's probably why they're like trying to probably get more puzzles in there because I just feel like I was jetpacking around a lot. You get different you end up upgrading your jetpack.
Do you ever run out of oxygen or anything like that in this game, or is it more just
no,
like
you run out of jetpack. Oh no, I think you can run out of oxygen. Yeah,
yeah.
you gotta
You
remember
gotta find
where the
tanks or
stash
something.
is and you run back to the tank.
okay?
But it was I don't think it was ever like really an issue for the most part for me. It was just getting fucking lost straight up and down.
Did you play this as well?
I have it. PC could not run it.
Gary played it.
I remember Gary playing it for a
So
while.
I tried it and then ended up having to fucking kind of leave it there.
Gotcha. Well, Lifeless Moon is aiming for a summer 2018 release, and it's been confirmed for PC, Mac, and Xbox One, but no further consoles have been announced. Speaking of... Actually, no, there's no good transition there.
No.
I apologize for that.
Speaking
into it.
of news
Speaking of video
articles,
games,
Yeah.
4 new versions of LA Noire is coming November 14th. So for those of you that don't know what LA Noire is, it is Rockstar's 1940s crime detective game. So
with
LA
a super
Noire,
unique face mechanic that they use to detect lying,
yeah.
which
Like
I
in real
fucking
life.
sucked at. Just every one of my interactions just ended up with me chasing someone out of a back door and fucking
Beating the shit out of them.
beat them.
That's how you get the information. That's the
Yeah.
bad, good cop, bad cop.
wrong. Oh, fuck. Well, I found this pencil over here. Wrong. You're like, I'm gonna shoot this guy. You're like, all right.
It was a great concept. I fucked up a lot too. So
Yeah, it's
LA
tough.
Noire is scheduled to release November 14th for PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and the Nintendo Switch. So alongside these 3 new console versions, there is going to be a virtual reality with LA Noire, the VR case files, featuring 7 select cases from the original game rebuilt specifically for virtual reality experience on the HTC Vive.
That could be interesting. I see it just being like a interrogation type of situation where you're interrogating somebody.
Yeah.
Looking right at them, and there you have to see if they're fidgeting and if their eyes are rapid and all this fucking other shit that I sucked at.
Do you
I
see
think
the
that
murder,
it would
though?
be no. So what?
Walk around the house and hit triangle and write it in your notebook.
Yeah, what happens in? So have you ever played L.A. Noire?
Nope.
So you're kind of it's like a very dumbed down Grand Theft Auto like open
Like the way your
world.
character walks around.
Yeah.
And the
But-
cars
Selective
and-
of.
But when there is interrogations, like you go to a woman's house and you're looking for her husband. And so the wife has tells, she's nervous. She knows where the husband is, but he did something wrong. So you kind of have to like figure
and
out.
they use this like super special, or at least at the time, like mocap.
Sense.
Yeah.
Mocap to like with every single actor and every single face expression. So you're supposed to read their face expressions to know if they're lying or not. And you find clues in the house. The more clues you find,
You
the
can
more
interrogate
questions
them
you can
kinda
ask
on
them
it.
about.
Yeah.
So I can imagine it being a lot of you sitting down and talking for the VR one, especially you talking to the person and just kind of selecting what you want to say, what you want to bring up, asking them
interrogate
certain
them.
But
questions.
being able to like look
Look
around the house
around.
for clues.
Just being like, oh well, I noticed that plant's broken.
Like, what's the goddamn deal? And she's
Why is
like,
that?
"He-
Yeah, like why is the
scratching the
plot?
was a drinker
and blew all our money.
Yeah, and
I
there's-
blew his
So I
brains
punched the
out.
plant.
Yeah.
and
And she
then-
left him in a train yard, actually.
Is that the real mission?
And he was in
Yeah.
the trunk at the train yard. It's
Yep.
like mission number 1.
I
Keep
remember
in
that
mind, yeah.
actually.
Yeah, me too.
But
Just in VR.
I don't know. Like I think people are, from what I've seen, people are really excited that this is coming to the Switch. I never really I liked LA Noire. I finished.
I thought it was a miss.
I felt like it never connected with me. It never made a lasting impression. I know what it was trying to do, and I can appreciate what it did.
I loved the combat sequences, but there were so few.
Yeah, there was.
Well, I
there
guess
was
that's really
tense-
just GTA.
There
Yeah,
was tense
pretty-
moments in the game as well. I felt like there's
I
4
thought there was
chapters.
a lot of cool stories going on there.
There's a lot of and they tackle real life cases because there's like the Black Dahlia murder. You're the detective
The
on
gruesome
the
shit.
Black Dahlia murder.
Oh, it took
So-
place during. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
it takes
and,
place,
like,
and it's
Other like fictional but super based on real like famous suicides and murders and stuff like
Yeah.
that.
The Nazis
So-
took-
But the only thing was, it was
yeah.
way, in my opinion, I consider myself to be an above average gamer. Is like it was hard to fucking
Get the facial
what,
expression.
Yeah, and like I ended up chasing everybody. I get a bunch of clues, but I still fuck up the dialogue. And like all my clues are for nothing. I still end up chasing them outside.
It's like mission fails. What happens?
No, it's like you shoot the gun up in the air, but you don't get like the cool,
Ending.
like, oh, you fucking busted them. Like, I don't bust anybody. I chase them all down. Like, oh, you fucking idiot. I don't get to like,
Get the-
trick them with
yeah.
my wit and fucking lock them up,
outsmart
Johnny.
'em
It's
and,
just like, oh, you took a shot at me and I might die now.
yeah.
It's like surrendered.
You know, like, it's like you did it the dumb way.
I think that the for those of you that haven't played it and you're kind of interested in that like Mad Men,
Time period was fucking sick.
the time period is great, and the conversations and like the interrogation scenes are really what kind of stuck out to me in that game and like made an impression. But like everything else, I just kind of felt like was like I don't remember shooting my gun up in the air, but I know I did it after Justin said it. But like, it's one of those things where I would say watch a couple videos on it and see if it's your type of game because it is
It's
made by
not
Rockstar, so it's very
Grand
well
Theft Auto.
done. But it's not.
It's not
GTA.
even. I wouldn't even consider it
So
an
it's the
action game.
expectation.
No, it's not.
It's not an action game. It's like an interactive.
It's almost as if
Investigatory.
Rockstar made a Telltale game in a way.
Kind of, yeah. It's like their
Right.
version of it.
So that's what I would say.
It's really cool mechanic though, like the way their lips, their eyes, like when they do.
I mean, it is. If you look at like
Pick
the
up all the
behind the
little-
scenes stuff, it is
Super
literally
impressive.
Just, the camera is right here on the person.
I think they had like
face.
all sorts of. They had like
They
a
had
bunch of
multiple-
angles, like
yeah.
all these angles everywhere on them, and
It's
it
like
was
a real
really cool.
interrogation type stuff.
It was, yeah, it's a
They're real tells.
Yeah.
It's cool.
So, more Resident Evil news. Actually, moving on from Rockstar, Resident Evil
Good transition.
Revelations 1 and 2 release date has been revealed. So you'll be able to play Resident Evil Revelations 1 and 2, which will be released on the Nintendo Switch November 28th. And the Switch version is going to use motion controls such as gyro aiming, shaking the Joy-Con to remove the attacking hordes. They're optional,
Yeah,
so you don't have to use them. Revelations 2 will be making its Nintendo debut, including a co-op mode, which each player will be able to play with a single Joy-Con via split screen local play. I'm sure you
Even
can
though it's
also
gonna be a
use
small screen.
You can also use. Well,
The
I mean,
TV.
if
On the
you're-
regular
if you're
TV.
watching
If on
on
the
TV,
TV.
yeah, you can use normal
I just never
controllers as
think of
well.
it with the TV ever for some reason.
Yeah.
Well, you always
So that
hand-
hybrid
you always
thing, I don't
handheld.
get it. I don't get it.
Yeah, he's still stuck.
It's
He's still
still-
stuck
yeah.
in 2016.
But I mean, it is all about the bringing it with you, right? It's the Switch. You know, oh, it looks so good on that little screen.
It does.
Doesn't
yeah.
suck.
Oh, it looks good.
But
Zelda, I
I
miss
will
it.
tell
I
you,
need to
I
borrow
will
one
tell
of those
you,
again.
Do you?
I dock it when I'm home.
Do you double dog it?
Nope, I don't double dock it. But back to Resident Evil. The
Yeah.
dual pack will be available for $40, and then you can buy each game separately on the eShop for $20. So not really a deal for getting the dual pack.
Get the bundle pack or not.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter. Same price.
Not
Go
not
fuck
the
yourselves.
best.
But hey, at least
Yeah.
if you don't
Pricing
want
strategy.
one, maybe
Yeah,
you
it's
got-
like-
maybe you got a high opinion about one and a lesser about the other. You can just fuck it. I'll pick it up. I don't have to. Pay.
Although I will say, there's been a lot of third-party support for the Switch.
I think
going
they've
on
been
right
listening
now.
to our podcast, but they haven't been giving us feedback.
No,
But I
they
think they've been
let us.
listening.
They let
Hey,
us
they
know.
let- they let us know,
send,
yeah.
They send some emails every once in a while.
Yep.
It's like, why are you stalking us?
Yeah, why are you screaming about
Cease and desist letters.
Yeah.
We
And
got
they
some of
sue
those.
us, yeah.
We got some of those. Anyways, more Nintendo
creepy.
news by GameSpot discusses the problem with VR right now. So Nintendo
Nobody cares.
execs discusses the problem. So back in 2015, Reggie Fils-Aimé said that virtual reality needed to become more compelling if it wants to catch on. What does he think of VR now? Much of the same, it seems. Speaking recently at the Variety's Entertainment and Technology Summit, Fils-Aimé said that, quote, problem with VR is that there aren't a lot of experiences that are truly fun. According to Variety, Fils-Aimé said Nintendo has no plans to return to virtual reality at this point. However, the executive added that nothing is off the table forever. Last year, a Nintendo patent was discovered that was related to VR, leading some to believe that Nintendo may be experimenting with the technology. So back in 2015, again, Fils-Aimé told Polygon that, quote, what we believe is that in order for this technology to move forward, you need to make it fun and you need to make it social.
Software, good software, dude.
I don't-
Well,
I
horror
know,
games
so-
is really like VR's shiny. Like Mario on VR, like platforming.
I think
wise.
it's like there's just not enough of them in house. They're too expensive, and like we said, we
does
talked about
anybody
it
kind
before.
of care anymore about VR?
No.
I think
It's
it's,
like the
kind of
gimmick.
it's definitely died down.
I feel like
Yeah.
we talked about this. I feel like that it was gimmicky, and then it's gonna last. And then once the prices drop in a couple years, more people will buy them, and then more companies will be willing to make a game for it because there's more in houses. I think that's where we're at. Nobody wants to make a game for it and take the time out of their busy schedules to make it work
On a
if
dying
only
platform.
1% of fucking people out there bought the $800 fucking machine to do these above less than average games.
they're test subject kind of games. It's kind of.
I also think that
It's an expensive guinea pig.
I thought that what he said was you have to make it fun and social, which I feel like is contradicting what VR is, because with VR, you're not being social. You're putting on these headphones. You're putting on.
Well, what
this
if you were playing
fucking
like
face mask.
Fantasy Star or like a game where you meet up with people
Yeah, that
like
might-
that? Unfortunately, nowadays people want it all. You
But
gotta-
that's
you
not
gotta give
social,
them everything.
though.
Like
I
Sword
wouldn't,
Well, you
I
can-
wouldn't call it social.
If you and I could be in the same room
world, yeah, I tell you,
at the same time,
helping him out.
It'd be
That's
tough to define what he meant by social.
But
I mean,
yeah,
Nintendo's definition usually is like
like you and I in the
Local
same
play.
room
it used to
playing.
plumb but doesn't anymore. It's vague.
It's up in the air.
it's a
really.
race car driver now.
Yeah, it's just like he's very sporty. Like what? No shit.
He's trying to lose the weight, the plumbing
Yeah,
weight.
he never does. He's always got that little pouch he's carrying around.
Yeah, he's always got that little
He's got his
Buddha
tool
belly
belt
going
hiding
on.
under there.
He's wearing a plumber's suit. It's kind of that.
He's
role.
got overalls, and that's more of a carpenter thing, really.
That's
He
just
started
the
out as a
old
carpenter.
school working man. You know,
He's old
he's
blue
gotta
collar.
he's got to
The
keep the
everyday.
pants up, but he needs access to his pockets. You know, it's
It's a
it's
struggle.
what you need. It's a great product. The overalls
The overalls?
makes sense.
you should pick up a pair.
Oh, I got 3. Yeah, 3 pair.
locks
I got
them on
2
for the-
denim, 1 khaki.
Oh my goodness! All right, the last piece of news that we have is all about Destiny 2, and I don't know how I feel about that. So
You were about to pick it up. Don't lie.
I'm up in the air right now on Destiny 2 because I will not play it for the online multiplayer. I will not play it for the grinding. I will not play it for getting my light level up. I will play it for the story, and that is it. And I don't know if that justifies $60. Maybe Black Friday rolls around and it drops down to like 30. Maybe I'll pick it up. But until then, I have to pass because I just can't do it right now.
You really can't help Lucas out.
I think I would get it on Xbox at this point, actually.
Oh, sure, really.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm more of, like, all of my online multiplayer games I try to get for Xbox because I have more friends that play there.
Yeah, so now he's built a little community of them.
Yeah.
Not to interrupt, but wasn't there the news story with the Xbox in Japan? I didn't put that in.
The one
That was not
Xbox that was sold?
Pretty much.
That they sold like 16 in Japan
That's
For
amazing.
the week?
Yeah.
for the month.
For the year.
Don't
bro.
lie to me.
No, there's a
Didn't
very-
we have a
no,
wicked
we did.
intense stat that like in
It
1
was
year
43.
Microsoft sold like
1 year, it's 43. Like,
Xbox 360s or something.
Well, I mean, the
like that.
Xbox just does not do well in Japan. It never has.
Well, they're
it
very
never
traditional,
will.
and if there you have a product that's made
PS3
in Japan, they
sold
stick
more
to
there
it.
in Japan.
That
Yeah.
doesn't
I don't have it on the screen, but
Right,
I
but you
remember
know
that
that.
stat.
It's one of those. It's just they don't have an audience.
Switch
there.
is crushing it. in
The
Japan.
Switch is crushing it in Japan. I think that it outsold the PS4 this month, so
Which is insane.
which is insane. Yeah. But
Switch is sick though.
let's get back to Destiny
Always
2, I
handheld.
suppose. What
Right.
does it take to run Destiny 2 at 1080 60 frames per second?
An Xbox.
No, it doesn't actually.
Just, yeah.
So, Destiny 2 on consoles are locked at 30 frames per second.
I think we had this conversation.
Yep. So the Destiny 2 beta finally arrived on PC last week, delivering a vast upgrade in terms of customization over the console builds, adjusting quality settings, unlock frame rate and field of view, along with HDR support. Take pride of place in a package that is seemingly doing everything it can to capture the heart of the PC gaming enthusiast. Let's see. Yeah. Bungie's justification for the lock at 30 frames per second on all console versions relate to how PC or CPU heavy the game is in terms of its physics, animation, and netcode processing. And bearing in mind that
Yeah,
these
Tough to
issues
balance.
we've seen in running titles with unlocked frame rates on the PS4 Pro, we're inclined to give the developer the benefit of the doubt here. And this is written by Eurogamer. That said, the PC version, a collaboration between Bungie and its partner studios Vicarious Visions, which just did the remake of Crash Bandicoot: The Insane Trilogy, proves highly adaptable in providing a 60 frames per second experience with even the most meager of gaming CPUs.
Skip ahead to what I highlighted.
So Anthony went ahead and highlighted the rest
Yep.
of this.
He's got something he wants you to mention.
No, I don't think he does.
no, I skipped. I don't want you to mention any of that.
There's a lot
It's
of
a-
shit here that is.
So let me sum it up for you. This is my version of it. They tested on multiple versions of PCs using different like processing and stuff to see what they could get for a result. Figured out that they lied to you, and then they give you the update later on.
All right. So on top of that,
was a quick
Destiny
summary.
2 on PC also features a properly implemented 30 frames per second cap in its lineup of options. Engine-driven cutscenes seem to be the lock for this. Essentially switching your PC into console mode during the cutscenes. It's kind of bullshit, but I guess, does that really even matter? Steve, I'm looking at you because...
What?
Nothing
does
else
what
matters.
matter?
So, like,
Well, nothing
They
really
switched
matters
from-
to me.
Wow.
yikes. So,
Sorry,
with
John.
a cutscene, does it really matter if it's 60 or 30 frames per second? Because I'm not a graphics whore. Because, like, I can tell when something's 60 and when something's 30, but, like, with a cutscene, does that...
Yeah, I mean, cutscenes maybe even more so.
I mean, I think it just goes to show how shitty it is. That like cutscenes should be easy to get to 60,
Okay.
right?
That's... Well, sure.
Because you're not doing anything else besides watching.
I'm not
You're
trying
not
to be a
moving
smart
anything
ass.
What
around.
kind of cutscene were they saying?
A
Is it like-
cutscene.
Is it in game or?
It's probably in game. Knowing Destiny, it's probably in game. So they're using character models and stuff. So it's just
Bullshit.
Yeah, like you're walking up to something, you're hitting the button, and then
I still feel like they should hit 60. The game should hit 60 in general.
well, it does on PC, but it doesn't on consoles.
It's not out yet on PC, right?
Well, no, it's coming out in
Well,
like 2
It's in
months.
beta.
They didn't actually, which I read because I forgot I didn't highlight it for you, but they tested for some things on the PC, and the beta did not do that.
Oh, really?
on the PC. It did not do the 60 frames per second on PC.
So no one's seen it besides.
But they
inside
figured that they
people.
weren't going to, like I think he said that they weren't probably going to do. They're giving him the benefit of the doubt, and when it releases, it will probably be.
Gotcha. So in conclusion, while there are some concerns about the quality of the PC Destiny 2 port, owing to the recruitment of its partner studio, the fact is that this is the one of the most technically accomplished PC versions that we've seen to date, adapted skillfully to accommodate the unique strengths
These
of
guys
the
are getting
platform.
paid.
I mean, I don't really know.
That was all like really. I don't know anything.
Yeah,
You know,
I feel like
it's all French.
I feel like I was reading Greek.
I figured I'd skip you the whole.
Yeah. Well, anyway, so they're gonna really go for it, and
I'm assuming what they do is they work it on a
hopefully
console.
it pays
For
off.
PC, they fix a lot of the stuff
for
or
'em.
porting it, I guess.
So, I mean, I think what I will say is that I'm impressed that they have Destiny on consoles, right? And they didn't release it day and day with the PC because it wasn't ready.
Well,
and they were like, "This isn't
Are they
done."
planning to cross-platform with the Xbox
No,
and the
it's
PC?
not. No, it's not cross-play. But I will say that I am impressed that they didn't just force it out there like we've seen with so many PC.
They're working out the kinks.
True.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
So-
I thought that if it was cross-platform, then the frames might make sense, but they're not even doing it.
So we'll see in the upcoming months if Destiny 2 on PC is indeed 60 frames per second, and I'm sure if it's not, people are going to freak the fuck
I
out.
probably will.
You freak out about anything that people are mad about.
Yeah, because it's outrage.
Yep.
You feel that way? Yeah.
You find something to be pissed off about.
Well, you know what? You gotta keep the fire burning.
Oh, sure. All right, and on that
the world's
note,
are turning.
Weekly sales report that in Japan only 63 units of the Xbox One were sold.
in a week.
I guess by
Exchange
weekly, yes.
students.
But it's gotten so bad that they aren't advertising the Xbox One or the Xbox One S as a game console now. They're
It's
advertising
entertainment.
as a Blu-ray player. Signs up.
Wow,
Ultra HD Blu-ray player Xbox One S. That's the.
that's sad. Well,
That's hilarious.
I mean,
Japan is so funny.
that's
I
crazy.
mean, they
to
got
me.
their PlayStations. What else do they need?
They have the
Switches.
PlayStation in their Switch, man, and
yeah,
that's
on
all
the
they
go.
need. They don't need anything.
They also got really nice TVs, and they got all sorts of electronics.
I've never been.
You know,
So I wouldn't know.
You know, Sony makes a lot of nice stuff, and I know for sure they're Japanese.
Anyways, on that nugget of knowledge, we're going to end the Drunken News, and we're going to take a quick break. We're going to come right back with everything that we're doing on the site, our Twitter handles, and all that jazz. So stick around.
Stick around. What's your excuse for not bringing us back in, Brian?
There is no excuse. So we're back in. We're back in with the end of this podcast. Thank you guys so much for coming with us on this journey of episode
Adventure,
131. This
this
adventure.
Nice
It's
back
page.
row.
Yeah,
You
this
don't
is-
read the page. People.
Yeah. Choose Your Own Adventure podcast. The Tangent, episode 131. Like I mentioned at the beginning of this podcast, if you guys like what you hear, please leave
Or
us a
see.
reviews or see. Please leave us a review
Got the
on any
cutoffs on tonight.
podcast.
For you ladies out there.
Shows that one.
Yeah.
Leave us a review on any podcast catcher that you're listening to this on. If you guys want to see Justin's sweet cutoff shirt,
Bristol.
Gun show.
you
Bristol's
can-
taken.
yeah,
Bristol's
Bristol's
friends.
taken.
What's up?
yeah, you can watch us on YouTube. So go over to youtube.com/pixelated points and search for us there and subscribe to us and share us with your friends because getting the word out means a whole hell of a lot more than you think it
Yeah.
does. We are on all sorts of social media platforms. So if you ever want to get in contact with us to give us some feedback, leave us a review, send us in a question, you can do that on any of the social media platforms. We're on Facebook.
Send us videos of puppies. Those are always good.
Also very good. We're killing
take
it on
it.
the Instagram right now, or Steve is killing it on Instagram. You can find us on Instagram at Tangent Podcast, all one word. Facebook, you can find us if you search Pixelated Points, you'll find us there. But I feel like Twitter is probably where most of us spend our time, and you'll be able to get in contact with us
Not
there.
this guy.
Not Justin, but Justin, what are you on Twitter?
I am Katata_fish_. Maybe if I had a reason to go on there, people asking me questions and whatnot.
Yeah,
But until right now, I'm all about checking out our Instagram page on Instagram.
Yep.
Some sweet photos.
Yeah, I'm giving
Awesome
them the
photos.
likes.
Yeah. I am at It's a Me BT. Anthony, you are
Majin Erebus.
Steven back there.
Steven_Sal.
The website is at PXLPTS, and the tangent is at tangent_podcast. I think that's going to be it for us for another great episode of the Tangent Podcast. Thank you guys so much for sticking with us on this adventure. We'll catch you guys next week.
On the tangent.